Hello, everyone. For today's Tuesday podcast, we have a very special guest with us today, Nat Schiffer, who is a managing partner at the Schiffer Group. Nat, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be here, Laura. How are you?
I am doing well. So, Nat, can you share with us some of the best practices that you have been witnessing from your clients that make their virtual hiring process stand out?
Absolutely. I really think this is a really timely subject because most clients who are still hiring out there are definitely having to adapt to virtual hiring and the use of video, whatever the platform may be. And I've been keeping some notes over the last days and weeks about what are some of the more innovative things that I've seen my clients doing. And I'd be happy to share with you kind of 5 things that I think every company can do to make their video hiring process stand out as compared to other employment value propositions. The first one is pretty simple. I think it's just really preparing and treating a video interview with the same level of warmth and preparation as one would do if you were interviewing someone in person. Making sure you have the right background, making sure that the camera is adjusted at the right height. You know, many of my clients are using different platforms, some of which we're not always familiar with, whether it's Microsoft Teams or Zoom or HireVue, just to name a few. And I think it's important to familiarize yourself with the platform so it doesn't seem clumsy, to bring that same level of warmth, to make the person feel comfortable so that they can try to forget the camera is there, because let's be honest, we're all a little bit nervous when that laptop is kind of staring right at you, and we're doing this in a bit of a different environment. Oftentimes, there's things going on in the background. 5th grade might be going on upstairs, college might be going on in the in the basement or the front room, and so I think having an icebreaker, whether it's just offering someone the opportunity to get some water or having small talk to try to make them feel comfortable is important. Have the right lighting, the right volumes, the noise, so it doesn't feel clumsy to the person on the other end, and they really feel like you want to be there and that you're very present in the interview. The second tip, I think, is a really important one. One of the things that candidates want to get out of a face-to-face interview is a better understanding of a company's culture. So in the virtual interviewing process, it's pretty difficult to do. One of my clients put together a virtual tour of their company by putting a menage of videos and photographs and even introductions to some various team members to tell them a little bit about themselves. And there are some companies out there that can do this for you because, let's face it, not everyone has a company video at their disposal. But I think that the opportunity to put together a short video or a montage of photographs that come off as a virtual tour to give an employee a feel for the company culture and the setting is a really powerful opportunity to showcase a company's culture via a virtual tool, via video. The third thing that I would share that, and this is, I think, something that every company certainly can execute, and that's attaching some helpful resources to the video interview invites, whether it's something as simple as bios on the people that are going to be the hiring authorities or that they'll be interviewing with, tips on how to prepare or how to use that particular system that they might be using, again, whether it's a Zoom, Microsoft Teams. First time I used Microsoft Teams, I was very clumsy, and it took me 2 or 3 times to really use it to get comfortable and familiar with it. Some other leave-behinds that are often asked for by candidates are benefit plan summary documents, any new articles or news headlines that might be going on at a particular company, and any locational information. A lot of times there are, whatever the community is, Chamber of Commerce videos, a plethora of video information on the area, the geography, whether it's prepared by a third party like a Chamber of Commerce or that city itself, et cetera. So it's always great to get locational information if it's available for the candidate and their families to take a look at. The fourth thing that I'm hearing, companies do, and I was just talking to one of my clients, which I won't name because I didn't get a chance to ask them if they'd be comfortable sharing their name, but in the spirit of showing how they're committed to the community, how they're committed to their employees, and they're certainly taking their employment brand very similar, they had a little idea to give the candidates a leave behind and sent their candidates a $25 Amazon gift card, which they either asked, hey, please spend this in your local community at an independent store of some kind, or pay it forward to someone who was in need. And I thought it was just a great way to have a really special touch for that particular candidate. But care packages of some sort or leave behinds they can take different formats, whether it's a branded mug. Sometimes if you're a consumer products company, some companies will put together a little care package of the various products they make. Others, it could be just something as simple as a note to follow up. But leave behinds or trinkets of some sort are really a great touch. They don't have to be expensive, and again, they could be something as simple as a note from whoever the hiring authority might be or the talent acquisition department, and I think it goes a long way to creating a special touch, and candidates certainly appreciate that. The last tip that I would share is, it's probably the hardest thing to do because many companies and many locations still have travel bans. We're doing a lot of work still in some hot spots, and it's difficult for candidates to travel and see the area. And so working with companies who are setting up virtual tours with realtors, so they really, as they've gone from, hey, I was interviewing, now I've had multiple interviews, maybe we're on the verge of an offer, and still a way to keep the emotional momentum going with a particular candidate, connecting those candidates with realtors who are able to provide virtual tours, being able to give them advice and counsel on what the specific demographics of the housing market that they might be moving to, what's going on, how much inventory is on the market in a particular location, and assess their needs about what they're looking for, and be able to begin that process, again, all virtually, but really being very proactive to keep emotional momentum and make that candidate feel great and special about the process.
Well, Nat, thank you so much for joining our podcast this week and sharing these best practices. I'm sure we will be continuing to hear from you in the future. Absolutely, and I would tell our human resources audience out there, I'm sure they have many great ideas of some of the things they've been doing to be innovative, and don't hesitate to ping me or send me a LinkedIn message or what have you about some of the ways that they're being innovative, and we'll certainly share it with our community. Sounds great. Thank you so much, Nat.